Welcome back, everyone, to WWE 2K15 SmackDown. And the Intercontinental Champion Rob Van Dam looks to finish the battle versus longtime rival Christian. We are live on Twitch from Nashville, Tennessee, here for WWE 2K15 SmackDown, and the Intercontinental Champion Rob Van Dam looks to settle the score once and for all versus Christian. Now, RVD and Christian have an interesting history. Back at the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view, Rob Van Dam pinned Sami Zayn in a triple threat match while Christian was outside the ring trying to get the steel steps and bring him into the action. After that, Christian moved up to the number one contender spot, and the show before Survivor Series last week here on SmackDown, Christian won the Intercontinental Championship, only for Rob Van Dam to win it back at Survivor Series. The score is tied 1-1 between these two, and we're going to find out who leaves once and for all Intercontinental Champion in this tables, ladders, and chairs matchup. And Captain Charisma, of course hailing from Toronto, Canada, looking to claim that Intercontinental title one more time and get RVD out of his hair once and for all. Can this wrestling legend get it done here tonight? He did it last week on SmackDown, pinning RVD after the kill switch to claim the title. But now, the ball is firmly in Christian's corner. Edge and Christian, of course, kings of the TLC match, but RVD no stranger to the Extreme Rules himself. These two abilities between these two men, will it even off? Will one cancel out the other? Who will climb the ladder and claim Intercontinental Gold for the final time in this feud between these two legendary superstars? Christian looks like he's pretty serious tonight, knows the dangers of the TLC match, but he also knows the glory that comes with claiming that Intercontinental title, the top prize for these two men. And there's the bell as we start off with this TLC matchup here on SmackDown. I, of course, am your host, PWS Phil. I thank you guys for tuning in. Those of you live on Twitch, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. We'll be adding a couple more games to the channel soon. Grand Theft Auto 5 and the upcoming Arkham Knight game. You can tune in Mondays for Raw, Wednesdays for Main Event, and Fridays for SmackDown for WWE 2K15. And then we'll figure out the other two games for Thursdays and Tuesdays. And RVD is on the attack here with a nasty backbreaker. And of course, to all my fans on YouTube, thank you for being great subscribers, and thanks for tuning into this show. It's been a hell of a run so far, and can't wait to see what happens in this Intercontinental contest. And RVD drops Christian with the shoulder breaker and follows up with the elbow. been such a great back and forth match between these two. I mean, overall, the feud has been a great back and forth feud. Both men so talented in the ring. And now taking things to the extreme to kick off December Week 2 SmackDown. And look at RVD with the short splash right to the back of Christian. And Christian eats the ladder right into the gut. Whoa, and what an ugly collision middle of the ring. And the ladder's down now. And Christian drops an elbow of his own onto RVD. And look at Christian, he comes flying with the forearm right to the face of Van Dam. And whoever wins this contest, of course, will face the winner of last week's Battle Royal at TLC, The Miz, getting back into title contention. Claim the #1 contendership, winning that Battle Royal. And he'll have to deal with whoever wins this TLC contest. And Van Dam back in control, has Christian down on the mat. Christian right back up, but RVD bringing the ladder back in. And this time, Christian eats one right in the face. But he's going to try to turn around Van Dam, and he does. This time, Van Dam goes down to the mat very hard off the shot from the ladder. And Christian already trying to make up for it, trying to get up there. And Van Dam pushes him off. Christian, the first man to attempt to make it up the ladder, but I think he was, had his hopes a little too high, higher than the Intercontinental title is above the ring. Van Dam trying to do his best to slow down Christian, dropping the elbow on the leg. Oh, this could be ugly. Suplex right on the ladder. Disturbing maneuver by Van Dam, but that's the only way you can get to that title without interruption. You gotta incapacitate your opponent by any means necessary, climb the ladder, bring down the belt, and leave as the new, or retain, the Intercontinental Championship. And Christian using that elbow to full advantage here so far, already dropped it a few times on Van Dam, trying to really knock Van Dam silly. Where Van Dam's trying to cripple Christian and take out his legs, Christian is trying to daze and confuse Van Dam with shots to the head. And so far so good, because Christian's the one who's already on his second attempt at going for the Intercontinental title, so his strategy so far is working best, although he is struggling up the ladder. Thanks to Van Dam's work on the leg. And look at this, Van Dam throws a wild kick and misses. But this time, catches Christian in the leg, and this time in the back, takes Christian all the way down to the canvas. And Van Dam now making his attempt up the ladder. He's got a hold of the Intercontinental Championship. Will it be enough? Still holding on. Christian pushes out the ladder. Oh, but Christian powerbombs Van Dam from the Intercontinental title. And now Christian taking a page out of Van Dam's book, working the hamstring. And it's Christian who takes a walk to the outside. Oh, Christian was looking for some sort of weapon, but saw Van Dam get back up, had to make it back in the ring. And look at these two exchanging strategies here. Christian went for the leg, and now it's Van Dam going for the head. Van Dam with the steel ladder now, right to Christian's face. Sets up the ladder mid-ring, and he's just going for it. He's not worried about Christian anymore. And Van Dam got his hands on the Intercontinental title one more time. Is Christian in the right mind to do something about it? And he is. And this time, another powerbomb. This time, Van Dam's head snaps off the bottom rope. And now Christian working a combined strategy, taking out the legs and head of Van Dam. If he can't walk, can't climb a ladder. If he can't think straight, can't keep his balance on a ladder. Nice jawbreaker by RVD. Oh, Christian takes him head first into the ladder. But Van Dam recovers. and uses Christian's own DDT against him, the falling reverse DDT to Captain Charisma. Christian taken into the corner, the ladder's out of the ring. Van Dam looking to do some damage on the former Intercontinental Champion. And Christian center of the ring, Van Dam up top. 5-star frog splash crushes Captain Charisma center of the ring. But now Van Dam's got to do the work and get the ladder back in here. Christian already starting to stir. And Van Dam tries to go back to work, but Christian too fast. Beautiful second rope moonsault by RVD. And Van Dam pouring it on heavy moonsault from the second rope, and now a springboard splash to the spine of Captain Charisma Christian. Christian dazed here. What does Van Dam have in store? Christian comes back to life. Van Dam shot into the ropes. Whoa, huge flapjack elevates Van Dam into the air. And Christian now is very close to losing this match. Seems to have reined in the controls here. Oh, but Van Dam blocks a suplex and hits one of his own. Oh, look at Christian escapes with the knee to the head. Grabs a hold of Van Dam now. Nice neckbreaker, center of the ring. And Christian, not wasting any time here, grabs the ladder. Already back to his feet, but knocked right back down. An opportunity is knocking for Christian here as he climbs up the ladder. And he's got his hands on the Intercontinental Championship. Will this be it? And he does it! He does it. Captain Charisma reclaims the Intercontinental Championship here on SmackDown. Let's take a look at the highlights. Van Dam crushed Christian with the 5-star frog splash, but he couldn't put it together to get the ladder back in and ascend. And there we see Captain Charisma pulls down the Intercontinental Championship, and what an epic conclusion to this rivalry as Christian reigns once again as the Intercontinental Champion. Congratulations to Christian. He'll go on to face The Miz at TLC for the Intercontinental Championship. And where does this leave Mr. PPV RVD? He's going to have to find a new mission as he's once again lost the Intercontinental title. Van Dam finished out the year as a 4-time Intercontinental Champion, and you gotta think he is more than deserving for an opportunity at the WWE Championship. But we'll have to see what the committee thinks as we have a number 1 contenders tournament waiting in the wings for John Cena's WWE Championship. But maybe RVD can parlay his epic year as Intercontinental Champion into a WWE title shot. But tonight, atop of the ladder and atop of the ropes is our new Intercontinental Champion, Christian. And now we turn to the continuation of one of the most interesting series going on right now in WWE is the Submission Series. Chris Jericho versus Daniel Bryan. So far, Daniel Bryan is up 2-0 versus Chris Jericho. So if Bryan picks up the win tonight, he wins the Submission Showdown with Y2J. Now, Chris Jericho is one of the superstars entered into the number 1 contenders tournament. He qualified by defeating his old rival DDP in a steel cage match on Main Event a couple weeks ago. So Chris Jericho, win, lose, or draw in this submission series, has his spot in the number 1 contenders tournament. And should Daniel Bryan get the victory, he will win this series and put himself in a hell of a position to to get back to the WWE Championship. He came up a little short in his triple threat at SummerSlam with Dolph Ziggler and Batista. So Daniel Bryan, slowly but surely, has been making his way back to the WWE Championship. And winning this series over Chris Jericho would be an awesome step in that direction. Jericho and his partner Booker T, the Living Legends, kind of been putting things on hold, even though they've been reigniting that old feud with Sting and DDP. Of course, Booker T and Sting had a collision on main event. Sting picking up the victory, looking for a little revenge since Booker T tossed him out of the number one contenders battle royal last week. And Jericho, of course, got his victory on DDP and looks to get some traction going, try to get a victory in this submission series versus Bryan. And the Yes Man is making his way to the ring. Daniel Bryan looking to finish out this submission series versus Chris Jericho. And it's been a great year for Daniel Bryan. Won the Money in the Bank match. Carried that briefcase around. Didn't wait too long to cash it in. Cashed it in on Dolph Ziggler and Batista. Entered that main event at SummerSlam. Made it a triple threat. Unfortunately came up a little short. Qualified for the 6-way Hell in a Cell #1 contenders match. Did an awesome job in that match, but came up short again as Brock Lesnar picked up the win. So it seems like Bryan is always taking one step forward and two steps back. He gets to where he needs to be, but can't pull the trigger and get to that WWE Championship. But he'll be right back on track if he can put Jericho away one more time and win this series. And there's the bell as these two great technical titans lock up. And Jericho quick to start off with the wrist lock here. Switches to a hammer lock on Bryan. Got two of WWE's best technical wrestlers going at it right here on SmackDown. And Bryan switches to an armbar. Jericho was close to the ropes, but Bryan braced it up anyway. You gotta believe Jericho's gonna fight extra hard to not lose this match, because that would be 3 straight losses for Jericho, and that would send him plummeting to the bottom of the list for any title shot. And Bryan shoots Jericho off into the corner, but Jericho's smart to avoid the dropkick. Oh, and Jericho with a beautiful arm submission there. Well, not so much a submission, I should say an arm attack, as he wrapped the hammerlock and then just fell back with his feet intertwined, wrenching Bryan's shoulder. But Jericho didn't fall up too great off of that maneuver. And now Bryan's face smashed right into the mat, and Jericho follows up on that with arrogant kicks to the face. Oh, and there's a kick to the face, and it took Jericho right to the mat. The step-up insecurity by Bryan. And now he's... Oh, the double knee stomp. And Bryan is just working over Jericho left and right here. Daniel Bryan has a deep, deep library of submission maneuvers. So it doesn't really matter what's broken down on Jericho. Bryan's got to move for it. Oh, and slams the arm. Might be looking for the yes lock. Although he's been not really trying to use the S-Lock in these submission matches, I think he knows Jericho has it too well scouted. He's been using a hammerlock with a combination chin lock to put a lot of submissions on Jericho. So we'll see if he goes back to that tonight or finds something new to polish off Y2J. Well, there's an awesome knee to the gut by Bryan. Oh yeah, points to the sky, flying headbutt. One of Daniel Bryan's signature maneuvers. Oh, and Jericho caught the leg. And a nice stall suplex by Jericho. And Bryan turns things right back around with the suplex. Oh, look at these elbows right into the collarbone of Y2J. And Bryan goes right back, definitely working that arm now. And Jericho reverses the Irish Whip, and a sleeping neckbreaker. Great move by Jericho, such precision to catch Bryan from a running position, and he does it one more time. And Jericho, I don't know if he's worked the back enough, but he's looking for the walls of Jericho, and he's got it locked center of the ring. Great positioning by Chris Jericho. All those years of experience come into play, but Daniel Bryan, too strong, fights off the walls of Jericho. Oh, and a right hand right to the face of Y2J. And Bryan out to the floor. And look at this, not wasting any time. Bring Jericho right back in. Hard shot to the chest, and a big kick to the head. Oh, there's a kick to the leg. Are these the signature? Yes, kicks. And Chris Jericho's head just gets taken off. And Bryan falls back to the corner. And there's the yesing. That can only mean that we're about to see the fireball knee. There it is. The fireball knee wipes out Chris Jericho. And right into cattle mutilation. And Daniel Bryan's all in the ropes. Will Chris Jericho submit to cattle mutilation here? No, Jericho finds his way out and kicks Daniel Bryan right in the back of the head. That is one of Daniel Bryan's signature maneuvers before he came to the WWE. Ripping and tearing at the shoulders. And Y2J strong enough to hold on. And he finally goes back to work on the arm. And he should have done that right off the bat. But Jericho, with his many years of success and experience, probably was a little too cocky, despite his 2-to-1 disadvantage coming into this contest. And there's Daniel Bryan with a vicious German suplex. And look at this, not wasting any time, going for another fireball. He is Hadouken. And there goes Chris Jericho, took him down. Took him down once again with the fireball knee. And Bryan goes right back to work on the shoulder. Maybe he is thinking about that yes lock after all. But gotta wear Jericho down with the Hadouken fireball knees. And look at that, flips right back into cattle mutilation. Look at Jericho's shoulders just being wrenched. How much more can Jericho take? Jericho writhing in pain in the center of the ring. Live to fight another day, Y2J. But no, he refuses to stay down. And Jericho catches him one more time with that sleeping neckbreaker. Reverse suplex by Jericho takes Bryan right down to the mat. And Jericho now staying a little more focused on the arm. And another reverse suplex. Jericho just dominating over Bryan over these past moments. And look at this, not again, not again. And oh my god, Jericho taking a page out of Brock Lesnar's book. Because he has taken Daniel Bryan to Suplex City. And here we go. Walls of Jericho one more time. Will this be the difference maker? Jericho steps over, and now the pressure is all on the back of Daniel Bryan as he crawls towards the ropes. And he gets there. Ed Bryan quickly back up to his feet. Drops Jericho on the back of his head with the crucifix pin. And right back to cattle mutilation. Daniel Bryan determined. And it's all over. It's all over. Daniel Bryan, 3 straight victories, has won the Submission Series. Let's take a look at the highlights. You saw the fireball knee. Daniel Bryan drops Jericho on the back of his neck. Walks in the cat mutilation one more time, and let's take a look. There it is. You can see Jericho tapping the air pretty much. And the referee sees the signal and calls for the bell. And you gotta think Daniel Bryan has propelled himself into the stratosphere for one more title match. Will it be enough? Or will Daniel Bryan need to put together a little more victories to get his shot at the WWE World Championship? An awesome victory here tonight. 3 straight victories over Jericho. Jericho has got to be crushed that he had to tap. But there's only so much damage your shoulders can take. Obviously a very important part of any athletic activity. And Jericho's got to think about the future if he didn't tap out there. And Alberto Del Rio is back in action. Of course, him and Rey Mysterio will collide for a spot in the number 1 contenders tournament. In the very near future. But tonight, Alberto Del Rio has to deal with the Ascension's Victor. And Del Rio had his eye on Rey Mysterio last week after Mysterio's victory over Christian. And you got to think those two have collided in the past, and they would love to meet one more time for a spot in the number 1 contenders tournament. We do all the spots pretty much have been filled. We're just waiting for the final matches between Macho Man and Edge, and Del Rio and Mysterio, and we will have our tournament very, very soon. We are not sure if the tournament is going to be finished in time for a new number 1 contender to be named for TLC. So we'll have to see. If tonight's events have sparked anything in terms of a current number 1 contender for the TLC pay-per-view. From what we've seen thus far tonight, Daniel Bryan and RVD would be prime contenders for that spot, whether it be a triple threat match or a one-on-one contest. We'll have to see. Maybe a few contenders will be put together, and we'll see who will face John Cena at TLC. But right now, the Ascension's Victor is making his way to the ring, and the Ascension had a great run against Kid and Cesaro. Unfortunately for the Ascension, Kid and Cesaro became the number 1 contenders to the tag team titles. So they take a little step back, but they're still a highly ranking, very dominant team here on SmackDown. And such an intimidating entrance, but I don't know if any of that is going to work against the veteran Alberto Del Rio. He's seen it all, he's done it all, and more importantly, he's won it all. And speaking of Rey Mysterio, here he comes down to ringside. He'll be getting an up-close view of this matchup. And there's the bell for this contest, and Alberto Del Rio and Victor lock up. We have quite the brackets for our number 1 contender tournament. course, The Undertaker and Kane qualified for their dominance in the tag team division over the past year. The man we just saw, Chris Jericho, luckily for him, already qualified for this number 1 contenders tournament before he lost that submission series with the win over DDP. The big guy, Ryback, qualified for the number 1 contenders tournament by defeating Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns in one-on-one competition. The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, defeated Randy Orton to qualify for this tournament. The world's strongest man, Mark Henry, destroyed Andre the Giant, and that qualification, that got him into this number 1 contenders tournament. And once again, we're waiting on whoever wins out of Macho Man and Edge, and Del Rio and Mysterio to fill out the last 2 spots. It should be quite an interesting number 1 contenders tournament. We're still waiting on scheduling to see who goes where. If this tournament will be done in time for TLC, that might have to be a tournament for the Royal Rumble Championship match. And Alberto Del Rio is in complete control of Victor here with that tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. And Del Rio now into the back suplex, drops Victor right on his head and neck. Del Rio, one of the most vicious competitors on the roster, will do anything to win, especially in a championship situation. He loves to use the cross arm breaker submission, as well as a variety of kicks to the head. So lots of tools in Del Rio's arsenal to put an opponent away. And Victor a little out of his element here, usually in the tag team with Connor, so he might have a hard time here. And a nice belly-to-belly suplex by Del Rio takes Victor over. And Del Rio staying focused on the arm. But Victor battles back with a nice head and arm suplex to Del Rio. And Del Rio fights his way out with a side Russian leg sweep. Del Rio's another wrestler who could do it all, whether it be flying or grappling or brawling. Very well-rounded superstar. You see the insecurity there only gets a 1 count. I think Victor was too close to the ropes. But that is one of his signature maneuvers, and you heard that kick echo throughout the arena. Right forearm knocks Victor back as Del Rio re-enters the ring here. And there it is, there it is, the cross arm breaker locked in. And will this be enough? Is Victor gonna tap, or will he survive? And Victor hangs on. Del Rio didn't put enough damage on that arm before locking it in. Might come back to haunt him. Belly to belly by Victor. And he follows up with the fist drop. Del Rio's got to be kicking himself that he didn't do more damage to the arm of Victor before locking in that cross arm breaker. And there's the big back body drop over the rope. But Victor hangs on. Oh, and look at this. Maybe he shouldn't have. Forearms to the spine. And there's the backstabber. Oh my goodness, that's the shockwaves right through Victor's spine for the cover, the count, and Victor survives. And there's Del Rio's tilt-a-whirl backbreaker one more time. And look at this now. Gonna do a little high flying? And he does with the splash. And the cover now. 1, 2. And Victor kicks out right at 2. Victor putting up a hell of a fight in this one-on-one contest with Alberto Del Rio. look at Del Rio. Shades of Jericho from our last contest. Just wrapping that arm in a hammerlock and falling back and just twisting the arm while it's in the hammerlock. Still not enough to keep Victor down. What a right hand by Alberto Del Rio out of the corner. And there's the hammerlock slam. Del Rio trying to make up the damage he didn't put on Victor in the first place. And look at this, Del Rio just turning up the volume. Non-stop offense to the upper body and arms of Victor. Into the cover now, 1, 2, and Victor kicks out one more time. I think Del Rio's slowly starting to realize that he might have to lock that arm breaker in one more time to put Victor away here. And Victor drops a vicious forearm into the neck and face of Del Rio. And there's a rake of the eyes. Del Rio starting to get to the dirty stuff now. Oh, trying for a cover out of the corner. 1, 2. Oh, and very close. Victor slowly starting to not kick out as fast. But he's still got plenty of fight in him, that's for sure. Just socked Del Rio right in the face. And one more time. He's got Del Rio in the ropes. And there's the tornado European uppercut off the ropes for the cover. 1, 2. And this time it's Del Rio, the one who survives. One of Victor's signature maneuvers, that tornado European uppercut off the ropes. But look at Del Rio. He recognizes the danger he's in and locks in. He locks in the cross arm breaker and gets the victory. And the referee didn't see it. He didn't see the tap out. My goodness, Del Rio has been robbed here. We all saw Victor of the Ascension tap out. But the referee didn't make it in time, he didn't see Victor tap out. And Del Rio is in danger here. He's expended a lot of energy to get that locked in, and the referee didn't even get the chance to see it. What a terrible turn of events for Alberto Del Rio. Finally locked the arm breaker back in one more time, and the referee didn't even see the tap out. Absolutely terrible job by the referee. Horrible turn of events. The only person that came out on the good side of that is Victor, as he fights on in this match with Alberto Del Rio. And what a great spot this would put the Ascension in if Victor got a win on one of the top contenders for the WWE Championship. They would definitely be in a better spot for a chance at a tag team title shot. And Victor sends Del Rio into the corner hard for the cover, and it gets a 2 count. Del Rio has got to be pissed off that the referee did not see the tap out by Victor. But he carries on. Nothing he can do about it now. And he locks in the arm breaker one more time. Will the third time be the charm for Del Rio? And it is. The referee sees it this time. And Alberto Del Rio picks up the victory here on SmackDown. And let's take a look back. Here was the first cross arm breaker. Didn't get the job done. Backstabber devastates Victor. I thought that might have been it there. Another one of Del Rio's favorite maneuvers, but only got a 2 count. Beautiful springboard into the splash. Del Rio thought he had the match won there too, but Victor held on one more time. And then finally, the third cross arm breaker. Second one made him tap. Ref was in terrible position, but the third time, referee looking right at it, calls for the bell. And Del Rio maintains his momentum as he prepares to go against Rey Mysterio for a spot in the #1 Contenders tournament. And of course, Rey Mysterio was right at ringside to witness the whole thing. And Del Rio extremely happy he picked up the win on Victor. And the #1 Contenders now are prepared for a non-title match against the tag team champions. And what a contest this should be between two amazing tag teams. And Ambrose and Reigns been incredibly dominant this year. Had a great back and forth feud with The Undertaker and Kane, and ended up coming out on top of that feud as the tag team champions. Got the big victory over Ryback at Survivor Series. So been doing just great as a tag team. Have brand new contenders in Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, and what a great non-title matchup this should be. Now last week the Shield hit a bit of a bump though. They lost to the team of the New Day. So the New Day are owed a tag team title shot, as are Kidd and Cesaro. So it's going to be a busy month for the tag team champions here on SmackDown. And what a great couple months it's been for Cesaro and Kidd. Finally getting past the Ascension, defeating the Ascension for the #1 Contender spot for the tag team titles. And now, just weeks away from the title shot versus the Shield. And that title shot will be right here on SmackDown. The Grapplers got together. Cesaro came up short in the European Championship match, and now their full attention is on the Tag Team Championships. Will this non-title match, will that help them if they pick up the victory and get the mental advantage over the Shield, or will it hurt them if they take a big loss against the champs? There's the bell in this tag team contest as Dean Ambrose goes right to work, hooks up a Tyson Kidd, lifts him up for the suplex, and brings him all the way down. Dean Ambrose got his work cut out for him here against Tyson Kidd. Very well-trained athlete, has lots of endurance. Can run circles around you, not only physically with speed, but technically with skilled maneuvers and counters and reversals. But so far, not doing too bad. A little double team with Roman Reigns, throwing a lot of strikes. And Tyson Kidd, look at this. Suplex on the apron. Has to send chills up and down Dean Ambrose's spine. And what a great setup for the sharpshooter. Submission move that focuses on the legs and back. And Dean Ambrose already took that vicious suplex on the apron. He would not last too long in the sharpshooter after a move like that. And Cesaro making his way over. Eats an elbow from Ambrose, though. The Shield so good at playing defense. And look at that spine buster by Ambrose. The Shield have to be determined to show what they're worth after losing to the New Day last week. Got Tyson Kidd in a terrible spot here in the Regal stretch. And look at that, even Cesaro was concerned, already came in. And into the cover now. 1, 2, 3, and it's all over. What is this? What a terrible defeat for Cesaro and Kidd. an easy defeat at the hands of the Shield, and this is a terrible sign for their upcoming tag team title match. Cesaro was concerned there, but I didn't think Tyson Kidd was in such terrible shape. As you see the cover, the count, and the victory for Dean Ambrose. What an insanely short contest, and the Shield has run over Cesaro and Kidd. This is a bad sign for the grapplers, as they were easily defeated by Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. And Cesaro and Kidd have to go back to the drawing board. What a terrible defeat for Cesaro and Kidd, and what a dominating, easy victory for Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. Roman Reigns didn't even step into this contest, nor did Cesaro. Dean Ambrose wrapped it up quickly versus Tyson Kidd, and that's bad news for Kidd and Cesaro. And it's main event time, as European Champion William Regal goes up against his former tag team partner, Bad News Barrett. And look at this, Barrett attacks Regal before they even get to the ring. And these two were a tag team known as the United Kingdom, as they went into the European Championship Elimination Chamber match. They were two of the last three men with Cesaro, and Wade Barrett absolutely turned his back on William Regal, stabbed him in the back completely. Instead of trying to focus on eliminating Cesaro, turned his back on Regal, helping Cesaro many times to try to get rid of Regal. And it was just too much for these two Englishmen. They couldn't stay as a team. The relationship was ruined in that match, and now Wade Barrett is coming full force at William Regal, trying to end Regal's career and take the European Championship. But this is a non-title match here on SmackDown. It was supposed to be Daniel Bryan versus William Regal here last week, but Wade Barrett viciously assaulted Daniel Bryan and took his place in the match. Ended up getting the big victory. And now this time William Regal is ready and waiting, but still, Barrett took advantage during the entrance and attacked Regal on the way to the ring. And now William Regal is supremely pissed. And look at the beatdown he's putting on Wade Barrett here tonight. Oh, and Barrett turns around, slams Regal into the mat, and puts his leg right in the spine of William Regal, trying to get submission. Regal holds on, but now into the cover, only gets a 1 count. Regal back up to his feet. Pendulum backbreaker for Bad News Barrett. And look at that tilt-a-whirl slam. Barrett right into the cover. 1, 2, and this time Regal kicks out. Of course, the European Champion made its return, won by William Regal in that Elimination Chamber match. William Regal used his running knee to knock out Cesaro and claim the championship once and for all. Cesaro and Regal would just not be put down at the end of that European title match. Of course, if you missed it, the cover by Regal. And only a 1 count off the Northern Lights. If you missed Survivor Series, it's up on YouTube. Search for the channel Philip Kelly, or if you're already watching this video, just go to my channel. It'll be in the WWE 2K15 Universe Mode playlist, or it's up in my uploads. What a great show! And of course, William Regal coming out on top in the main event as the European Champion. But right now, taking hard shots from Wade Barrett and answering right back. And William Regal with the exploder suplex sends Wade Barrett flying. These two proud Englishmen battling for the European Championship. These two will have their European Championship match here on SmackDown in the upcoming couple weeks. Got a lot of big title matches planned for SmackDown this month. as Wade Barrett fights his way out of the abdominal stretch. And he catches Regal with the winds of change. He goes right for the cover. Smart maneuver by Barrett for the 2. And almost caught William Regal off guard. Such a devastating slam, the winds of change. Some of you older fans may know it as the Boss Man Slam, but everybody knows this as the Bullhammer, and William Regal just ate it right to the temple. And that is Wade Barrett's finishing maneuver, the Bullhammer elbow for the cover, the count, and the victory. The European champion goes down at the hands of Bad News Barrett. And let's take a look at the highlights here. There's the bow and arrow. Barrett thought he had William Regal done, but William Regal out before 1. The tilt-a-whirl slam. Regal survived, but the winds of change was the tipping point. The winds of change did change the direction of this contest as Wade Barrett hits the Bad News, hits the Bullhammer on William Regal for the victory. Now, of course, Barrett wouldn't have got this victory if it wasn't for that attack from the back. And now look at this. Come on, Barrett. This is too much. This is much too much. The steel chair assault to Regal. You proved your point. You jumped him before the match, and now you've jumped him after the match with the steel chair. You should be absolutely disgusted with yourself, Barrett. What a terrible turn of events here at the end of SmackDown. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm PWS Phil. Please tune in Mondays for Raw, Wednesdays for Main Event, and Fridays for WWE 2K15 SmackDown. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the ring.